Alright guys, so we got another workout here, and this is my pull B session. So this was today's session. Overall, another solid session. And here we are starting out with single arm lat pullovers. So right now I've been doing 2 working sets of these on my pull B session, and essentially in both sets in the 10 to 12 rep range. And this was the back off set. I actually dropped the weight a bit because I feel like I was starting to go a little too heavy on these. For the top set, I feel like I went a bit too heavy. So I decided on the back off to drop the load from last rotation. I was actually going a little heavier on the back off last rotation, but I felt like I was losing some execution on these. So I actually dropped the load a bit. But overall, they felt good. And so second here, we got single arm lat pull downs. And as you can see, I'm supported by a bench, which you guys have already seen this in the previous video, the pull A session. I do this for both sessions, and so I do 3 working sets. And one a bit heavier set initially, and then basically like 2 back offs. So pretty much, I want to say, where am I typically sitting at here? 1 6 to 10, yep, and then 2 10 to 12 rep range. This was, I believe, the top set. And then I believe I matched performance there. And on the back off sets, I slightly progressed on those. But overall, those felt really good. And yeah, these are really nice if you don't have like a really good lat pull down, single arm lat pull down machine at your gym. Just having a bench set up like that actually is a great way to isolate the lats. And so here we have an upper back row. So this was the top set here, which my top set's around 8 to 10 reps for this machine, and then I'll do a back off for around 10 to 12 reps. And so essentially this is like my upper back focused row of this session, or at least chest supported upper back focused row, I'll say. And then here's, as you can see, the back off. And again, just really focusing on driving those elbows back, protracting the scapula, and then retracting it as I come back. And really just focusing on making sure essentially every rep I'm getting a maximal contraction with my back. That's the goal. Obviously, towards the end, like the last couple reps, I might go for some partials. I don't typically count those reps. But I try to really make sure I'm actually connecting with my back muscles while doing this movement. And so those were feeling pretty good today. I was able to do them at the normal order. Last week I had to actually switch the order, so it threw off my performance a bit. But this week I was able to do it in the normal order, so that was nice. Now here we have single arm dumbbell row. So I do 2 working sets of these, and right now, unfortunately, I can't go super heavy because this gym only goes up to 120s. So I've just been doing 2 working sets with the 120s. But recently, I actually reset my form a few weeks back because I felt like I was getting a bit too loose. So I think it was last week I reset my form. So trying to be a little more strict. And I believe, did I progress from last week? I think I did actually progress in like a rep on that first set. And then on the back off, I believe the second set, I believe I actually was up a rep from last week. But trying, as you can see, one thing I will say about these is obviously I'm trying not to use a lot of momentum. But also I have the same side, same arm, same leg, or same side arm and same side leg, both, I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I'm mixing up words, but you could see where I had like if I'm using my left arm, I'm going to have my left leg in front. So that positioning ensures that you're not getting so much torso twisting. It's easier to start to just twist your torso whenever you have like the opposite leg back and you're using the other arm. I know that was maybe a bit confusing the way I said that, but hopefully that kind of makes sense. But I was mixing up words at first. But here we have the cable row. So another upper back row. So I do basically 2 chest, I guess you could say chest supported upper back rows this session. And so 2 working sets here, 1 set around the 6 to 10 rep range, and then 1 set around the 10 to 12. And I just use the straight bar here and just really driving my elbows back, as you can see. So basically, like 2 chest supported rows, but I have the dumbbell rows, in between them. And so that's all my back movements I do for this day, and then you can see the high cable curls, which someone had asked about this in the Q&A I did, but this is how I set that up with the bench. And again, this is a movement that is relatively new for me, so I'm still playing around with positioning and everything. I haven't quite got it down pat perfectly, so yeah. But this is how I've been doing them, setting up a bench in front of a cable station. And it's just really challenging the biceps in the shortened range. So it gets really hard to get a full contraction. You really can't go very heavy on these. At least I can't. But it is a little, initially I wasn't really excited to have to set up a bench for curls. But in this gym, it's not too hard to get a bench to set up in front of a cable station. So it's actually not bad. And so, yeah, this is the curl I do this session that's just really challenging the shortened range. So that's why I'm actually doing it for the next curls that I'll end up doing, which you'll see is the hammer curls. But again, like I mentioned before, doing single arm work is actually something I've been neglecting. So, man, these are actually they feel very good. They're very nice. So, yeah, 2 working sets here. 1 set around 8 to 10 reps, and then 1 set around 12 to 15 reps. So this was, I think, this was the first set I did. So I guess you could call it the top set. But, yeah, it just gets really hard to fully contract the biceps on these. But if you never tried them out, give them a shot. And then here's the second bicep movement I do on this day, the second and last, which is just dumbbell hammer curls. And I just have been doing them alternating like this. And 2 working sets of these. And same rep ranges, 1 set of 8 to 10, 1 set of 12 to 15. And I believe this was the top set. Yeah, this was the top set. I don't go too heavy on these. 45s feel heavy to me, so. But just trying to get really good contractions at the top. Not trying to be super, super, super strict with the hammer curls, but yeah, dumbbell hammer curls, great movement for me. I connect well with the brachialis doing these with dumbbells. Although I don't do a ton of dumbbell curling, but I do like dumbbell hammer curls. So yeah, those are feeling good. And then the final movement, just these single arm rear delt flies, which you guys saw if you watched the other pull session, the pull A session. I was also doing these, so ending off the session with these. Typically, I would do 1 set of 8 to 10, 1 set of 12 to 15. But since initially I was doing the reverse pec deck, so that was essentially also why I would have this pull session where I would go a little heavier. But since I've been recently doing the rear delt flies on the cable stack here, I actually don't like to go too heavy, so I've been trying to stick to the 12 to 15 rep range for both sets. But these actually, man, I've been sleeping on these. I never did these much before until recently, when I basically had to do them because I wouldn't be able to get on a reverse pec deck, and they feel really nice. So yeah, just 2 working sets there, and that's all I do on this session. So this is my second pull session I do. And so that's all the movements. You guys may have heard some wildlife in the background. I apologize about that. I'm actually sitting outside while doing this voiceover. So you might hear the wind, you might hear some birds, but hopefully you can still hear the commentary. So yeah, another solid session performance, still holding up strong on the pull movements. What's up, guys? So that was the pull session today, and like I said, it was a really good session, really solid session, able to retain performance. And so not much else to say about it, guys. I'm going to keep this one short. Just wanted to take you guys along the session. If you have any questions about anything you saw in the session, feel free to comment below. But yeah, I'm just chilling outside a little bit before it rains. And yeah, that's that.